Hey everyone, it's Cece. So today we're going to be doing this summer makeup look. And I do think that this is genuinely a more formal look that you could do for this summer. Or if you're just like me and you like to wear a lot of makeup every day, this is definitely a good option. So I do hope you enjoy. So enough with the introductions, let's get right into the video. Well, hello. First, we're going to start off with the e.l.f. Blemish Control Facial Primer, and we're going to put that on an e.l.f. small stipple brush. We're going to put a pump, about a pea-sized amount on the brush, and then we're going to apply that all over the face again, avoiding the nose. So it's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in shade Porcelain. What's also really nice about it is that it has a paddle on it. So you can kind of do this across your face so that, you know, you don't have to try and put it on the back of your hand or your brush or none of that, which is a really good perk in my opinion. Okay, so I typically go for a beauty blender, but lately I have been using a foundation brush. I've been switching between a few, but today we're going to be using the Morphe M439 brush, and we're going to be stippling that into the skin, of course blending down the neck. Next, we're going to be taking the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in shade C1. We're going to be taking a Morphe sponge, and this is my favorite sponge at the moment, and we're going to be tapping it into the skin directly over where we applied the concealer. Okay, now that that's blended out, we're going to be taking the e.l.f. powder brush, and we're going to be taking the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and we're going to be applying that all over the face. You can, right about now, you can use some loose powder to bake if you want. That is an extra step though. I'm not going to do that today because again, this is kind of just a summery look. We're not going for anything crazy. So next we're going to be moving on to bronzer. And today we're going to be switching it up. Instead of using my regular Too Faced Sweetie Pie bronzer, we're going to be using the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. We're going to be using the Morphe E3 brush, and we're going to be dipping into the bronzer and tapping off because we don't want a too bronzy look. We just kind of want to carve out. We just kind of want it to give us like structure. Next, we're going to be moving on to highlighter. Okay, so next we're going to be moving on to highlighter. We're going to be taking a Morphe 510 brush, a Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder in shade Blossom Glow. I absolutely love this. We're going to be taking a dry brush. So next we're going to be taking the Morphe E4 brush, and we're going to be taking the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the shade Pearlescent Pink. A definite way, if I feel like if your blush or bronzer or contour or whatever it is too intense, just take a beauty blender and like diffuse it a little bit. Next, we're going to be moving on to brows. I'll be taking the e.l.f. brow pencil in shade Tape, and so I'll be right back with my brows filled in. Okay, now that we have our brows done, we're going to move on to eyeshadow. So what we're going to do first is we are going to take the Morphe 35W palette, which I absolutely love. So we're going to be taking a tapered eyeshadow brush, and we're going to be putting on this matte white eyeshadow, which as you can tell, I'm running out of. So we're going to be putting that as a base shade all across our lid. So we're going to be taking an e.l.f. blending brush, and we're going to be dipping into the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions palette. So we're going to be switching to our Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions palette right here. So here is the yellow shade we're going to be using, and we're going to be putting that in the crease and outer V. So you're going to be coating the top of the brush and then tapping it off just a little bit.
Okay, so right here we're going to be using windshield wiper motions to get the yellow pigment across the crease and outer V evenly.
So next we're going to be taking this salmon color right next to the yellow, and we're going to be putting that in the outer V with the e.l.f. crease brush, with the e.l.f. eye crease brush, and we're going to be packing it in the outer V, and then we're going to be blending it out.
Notice how right here I'm using small circular motions to try and get the eyeshadow evenly distributed. Do not use windshield wiper motions, it'll just end up kind of streaky and all over the place.
Okay, so next we're going to be still taking the Huda Beauty Core Obsessions palette, and we're going to be taking this dark red shade right here. And again, we're going to be taking the same packer brush, only instead we're going to only be packing it in a smaller area in the outer V instead of kind of like this general area. We're just going to be packing it in one very small spot because we do want these two transition shades to kind of pop out. And we're going to just put a little dot right there. That's it.
Okay, so here we're going to be taking a mixture of windshield wiper motions and circular motions to try and evenly distribute this color, mostly because there is less pigment, so it is not as strict to the circular motions.
Okay, next we're going to be moving to the 35W palette from Morphe, and we're going to be dipping into this highlight shade right here. It's kind of a champagne-y, glittery shade, and we're going to be kind of putting that on the inner corner all the way to kind of mid-lid area because we want those areas to be brightened.
After we apply the pigment, we're going to be using a blending brush to blend it out so there is no harsh lines.
Next, we're going to be taking this shade right here on an e.l.f. eye crease brush, and we're going to be tapping that off. We're going to be putting it very lightly halfway under our eye.
Here, we're going to be kind of swiping the color back and forth across from the corner of our eye to kind of halfway through our eye. And we're going back and forth again to kind of blend itself out to make sure there are no harsh lines and that it is blended smoothly.
We're going to be next we're going to be taking the M501 brush from Morphe. So again, we're going to be taking the Morphe 35W palette. We're going to be taking this kind of cream shade mixed with this other darker cream shade, tapping it off a little bit there. We're going to be blending out. We're going to be using that shade to blend out our existing eyeshadow so there's not a harsh line there. Okay, so next we're going to be taking this angled crease brush from Shawnee, and from the Shawnee brush collection, and we're going to be taking the Blossom Glow highlight from Wet n Wild. We're going to be dipping this into pretty heftily, and we're going to tap it off a little bit. We're going to put it directly under the brow bone, but again, not too much, otherwise it gives you the effect you don't want. So don't try and do blinding brow bone highlight. Of course, you can try and go for blinding like cheekbone or nose highlight, but under the brow bone it just kind of gives the wrong effect if you put too much highlight. So just a little bit of highlight under your brow bone is perfect. I think we're going to be taking in the Urban Decay lipstick in shade Safe Word in a Comfort Matte. And I almost forgot, we're going to be taking the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara as per usual, and we're going to be taking that and we're going to be taking a very generic coat of that across our lash. Hope you enjoyed that video. Please like, comment, and click that subscribe button. I hope you put this makeup look to good use. Have a great day. Bye.